What's up, YouTube? Eli the Ninja back again with another video. This is going to be another pro scrim VOD review. So I wanted to start off by looking at the stats for Space Station Gaming overall on Halo Data Hive. So this includes their scrim results and their tournament performances that have been able to be accessed. Halo Data Hive is currently down, actually. So there are some stats that are missing. I was able to pull this page up, which is really nice. On this page, we have access to all of their totals from the beginning of this this group of four. So as soon as Legend joined the team, they remade the team, and this is their stats since then. So I wanted to look at this because there's probably a lot of surprising stuff that people don't realize about this roster and what makes them so good. Everybody talks about Legend being kind of like this new Slayer that is amazing. And he is, obviously, but I think a lot of people would be surprised to know that he's also probably their primary objective player most of the time. But what's really interesting about Space Station, though, is they're also well-rounded, that all of them are kind of capable of doing anything. There's not like specific roles. They just kind of understand how to play different situations together. And I think that's why they're currently the best team in the world. So let's first take a look at the kills, assists, and deaths. So probably doesn't surprise anybody that Stellar has the most kills. I think what's crazy about Stellar is, like, I've looked at this kind of overview for all the different teams, and his like Slayer performance or just like slaying in general performance is like the most outstanding I think that we see. Interestingly to note, though, Legend actually putting up more damage than Stellar despite having nearly 500 less kills. He's got 500 less kills, but he has 600 more assists. So crazy stats there. Bound, very similar stats to Legend. They're very similar player archetypes. Bound more of like an entry fragger. Legends, I feel like, kind of comes in like second. And then Stellar is usually like the back line. But I mean, they're, like I said, they're all capable of anything. It's just kind of the natural flow of their team. But going into these stats, these are the more interesting stats to me, is like CTF. So Legend has 1,800 flag steals. 1,800. The next closest is Bound with almost 900. Well, sorry, those are flag grabs. I'm sorry. But regardless, 268 steals when the next closest is 123, which is Bound. He's also got the most secures by far, tied with Bound for most returns. Time as carrier is about twice as much as Bound. Eco actually having a lot of flag carrier time as well, but Legend still topping the charts with that. I mean, we're gonna see. We're about to watch a flag run, or sorry, a flag game, and probably multiple flag runs from Legend and Bound. These guys are both extremely fast with the flag. And then going into Oddball, Legend on top again. Legend most Oddball points by 1,000. Bound also has quite a bit. I mean, it's pretty even across the board. Stellar, like I said, usually that backline player that, you know, just racks up kills from the back. But by far and away, Legend, once again, on top of that. Time as carrier. What's really interesting about this is your points and time as carrier are actually different, because if you don't hold the oddball for an entire second, you don't actually get the point. So like if you drop the ball and then pick it back up, you have to be actually physically holding it for a second before you get the point. So that's why these numbers are always higher than the actual points. But strongholds, Legend, once again, most captures, most defensive kills. Stellar with the most offensive kills. And Eco and Legend pretty close in occupation time. King of the Hill stats. Looks like this one's a little different. So Bound actually the primary hill player, but everybody's so close in this. It's not even like, obviously everybody's capable of it. Stellar just, once again, the guy least likely to be in the hill, but he's the guy that's got 8,000 kills as well. So, and I wanted to look at this because if you go into Halo Data Hive and you look at like FaZe's overall stats, for example, Snakebite has so much more ball time than everybody else on the team when it comes to like oddball. Snakebite has the most hill time by far. Like, he is so much clearly their objective player. Whereas on Space Station, it's a bit more well-rounded. But I would think that most people are probably surprised to see that Legend has such high values in these, despite being known as like a new Slayer for the team. But anyways, thought that was super interesting. This is a scrim from yesterday, which is against FaZe. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. This was Pit Flag. In the last tournament, we saw Legend do some of the fastest flag running we've ever seen. I know that Bound, when I looked at the stats here, I think he goes 13-3 this game. So, and it's only a 5-minute game. So this will be a very fast one. I'm curious to see the opening strats from both teams.
Capture the flag.
And just the way they lock down the map, essentially. So we'll start out with Bound. We'll start in third person here just to look at the opening strat. So Bound, Spartan moves twice the speed of everybody else on the map. Hits the curb slide off of that incline, by the way. And instantly goes into sword side. This has become my new route for OS. I feel like a lot of people in matchmaking don't do this, but it's an extremely effective way to get OS off the rip. Those nades just completely zone out. It looks like Frosty's the one on the other side, so his nades were basically perfect to zone him out. Makes enough space to get the OS. And he's just going to go grab this repulse. Actually going to backtrack here, I think, just to make sure that Stellar is good. He knows how important it is to keep Stellar alive. Also, I guess there's a call that there's 2 guys in sword. So really interesting start from FaZe. I kind of want to take a look at their side real quick. So they actually send 2 to Rockets. Renegade gets them. And it looks like Snakebite trying to watch Long Haul for a second. And who is this? Is this Legend? Yeah, Legend just goes straight through Long. Okay, after nading it goes around. Eco shows up late. He does the wall run tech right there. Great flank from Legend here. Secures the Rockets. On the other side, Bound and Stellar just working together. Now Legend is purposefully going over here with 2 enemies dead. He wants them to spawn courtyard. That's just the best place to spawn the other team. Easiest to spawn kill, even though Bound and Stellar are still busy fighting these 2 guys in sword. Like, as long as he forces the spawn in that general direction, if Bound and Stellar can win this fight, they should be able to turn around and spawn kill these guys as well. Plus, he's all the way behind them, just making their life difficult. Has help from, I think, Eco, who's still over here, or has returned to the fight. And they're just playing so pressure heavy to keep FaZe in their base. So let's go back to Bound. We're actually going to back it up a little bit to see how Bound and Stellar won this fight. It's going to go all the way around while Stellar holds his side. Royal 2 gets taken down. Now Bound has 4 snipe shots to work with. So he sees what's going on with Legend. He knows these spawners are going to show up in the courtyard. He doesn't want to look directly at the spawn points because that would actually block the spawn. So he's probably, he knows that they're going to spawn there, but he's going to wait till they've spawned before he peeks it so he doesn't mess up the spawns. And hits the body shot there. And this is just such a hard position to get out of if you're FaZe. Like, they don't really have that much space to work with. They're getting some great shots on Bound, but, like, it doesn't matter because they're being watched on all sides. Legend actually goes back to block the spawn once again while the flag's being ran back. And they don't really care that much that this guy's going through training. I mean, they know about him. Bound kind of trying to stay alive. Knows that they don't expect him to peek here. Sick repulsor play on Royal 2. Royal 2 can't land the shot. And I bet Legend just... Yeah, so now they're actually going to block... Okay, this is really smart for them to change the route for this play. So they recognize the timing of the situation. Eco's not close enough to block the Mauler side, which is like generally the easier way to run it, but you can easily run it this way too, as long as you just block it. So Eco's like, hey, I can block court. So he just immediately runs down to block it. Now they let the spawner spawn on the other side. Bound can move from this position. Yeah, there we go. He's getting ready to rotate to cut off the overextenders on the other side. FaZe actually pulls the SSG flag. And Bound moves forward here. Look at that slide, by the way. It's really hard to get the perfect timing on slides like this. I think he hits the bottom of the ramp. Yeah, so he like wiggles off of the ramp and then hits the slide. You get a longer slide if you time it. The later the timing window that you hit it, the greater the slide and momentum that you get. So getting to the top tower position is pretty big when FaZe is running his flag, because now he can just stop them from getting all the way through. It's actually going to go back to make sure that we get the touch on this flag. This is interesting. We're in a little bit of a standoff here. There's still a guy in the SSG base. Usually in these standoff situations, it's more important to keep the other team's flag alive. Like you instead of return your own flag, especially if you already have the lead, right? Like it forces the other team to return the flag before they get on the board. So they actually go backwards. Bound with some perfect shots. On the first target, Royal 2 finally takes him down. Eco with a clutch slide out kill there. Dodging the grenade. Okay, and Rockets and OS are going to be up in the next 15 seconds. So they're probably going to just make sure they're still alive for that. How does Legend get their return here? Okay, so Legend went all the way around. We're going to back up a little bit here. So during this play that we were just watching Bound, after Bound left their side, Legend goes to their side to cut off the flag player. It's really important that the timing that he decided to start shooting right there was perfect. He knew that if he started shooting, that he would have the 5-shot angle before he disappeared off the screen. He's confident he would hit the shots. Perfect. Knows there's no people spawning right now, so he's not looking behind him. He's just going to move forward. Gets to return, stays alive. They get the cap. All right, how do they play back from here? So Stellar, I think, already going through on the outside here. It's into a fight. Actually lose the fight for Rockets for now, but Bound can still flank behind and maybe clean up the situation. Gets 2. FaZe still gets the Rockets though. Oh my god. Okay, so he turns, kills the guy that Stellar's fighting, kills this one. Just sees an opening and timing here. Gets rocketed, but he probably doesn't even care about that. If the other team uses the rockets to clear you from your side, that means they can't use the rockets offensively to get a cap of their own. Stellar got the OS as well. Doesn't care to eat the rocket there. Forces Royal 2 to kill himself with the rocket. Now it's a 3v3 situation. Sorry, 3v2 situation on the map. So they're going to be aggressive here. Eco tries to go through, but gets killed by a spawner in courtyard, I think. Legend with perfect shots on Snakebite. And I love the way he's playing, just always getting into the smaller side, just to make the spawns easier for his team to read. Rest of the team just position themselves to spawn kill on the other side. Royal 2 tries to get behind it. I like this play by Royal 2. He doesn't have many options, but if he can get a trade right here, it's actually really good for FaZe. Legend sees an opening to pull the flag, but he's not actually going to run it. Just going to apply a little bit of extra pressure. Look at this. Finds a way to get a kill. Going to reset the situation a little bit here. Bound has to do sniper. Takes a lot of fire. Probably predicts that FaZe want him dead, so I'll play this pretty cautiously. Slides back out, gets a nice body shot. And yeah, even though SSG have been dying like quite a bit in the last couple of minutes, like comparatively to the beginning, like they've only been dying on FaZe's side of the map. So like FaZe haven't even had a chance to have any type of offensive pressure at all. And like, as long as they continually get kills and trade out, like that means that Bound can just stay here and kind of keep the pressure on so spawners have time to make it back to the other side. I don't know what that weapon drop was right there. That was just clicking too many buttons. Oh, maybe he didn't know how much ammo he had left. Or he's trying to despawn the shotgun. Bound's in chat right now. Maybe he can tell us what that was. What was it that he picked up? He just drops the snipe. I think he has drop weapon on a button and just accidentally pushed it. Anyways. Gets a snipe here. He's out of ammo. Pressuring the other sniper. Yeah, once again, they're just constantly applying pressure in FaZe's base. FaZe has been on defense literally since the game started. Have not been able to clear their side. Look at the slide, man. This guy never hits, or like, never hits a dead slide, I feel like. Such a slippery player to kill. What was the series? Bound was in chat, said it was 12-0. And that looks like the end of the game. So they actually pull the flag while there's two players in front of them. They start running it this way to force the other spawners to spawn in the court. Stellar on the other side, jumping behind them. Now this is a kind of a risky play by Stellar because it's now feasible that they could spawn weird, but like SSG is smart enough to know that, like, if you're blocking too many spawns in this moment, the other team can actually spawn like runway. There's you can actually spawn in sword, but he actually dies with perfect timing to where it doesn't matter. Like now they're going to spawn wherever. So he just did as much damage and distraction as possible. And now they just run the flag all the way home for free. So very impressive performance from SSG. I mean, their offensive pressure was just so great that FaZe never had a chance to run a flag. And they win this one 3-0 in 5 minutes. After 12-0ing FaZe, I mean, during a 12-0 scrim against FaZe. Now, granted, I do think SSG is the best team in the world right now, but for it to be 12-0, I kind of, like, something tells me that maybe something was off on the side of FaZe. Like, they're usually good enough to get, like, I don't know if they've been shut out in any scrims, like, ever. That might be the first time. So very impressive stuff. I think we're going to actually look at one more game from that series. By the way, I had to go to page 3 to find this. So that means that Legend played like almost 20 games of 8s after the scrim against FaZe, which is just insane. This guy's a grinder. All right, Bound in chat mentions that Argyle was crazy because they capped twice in a minute. So let's take a look at that. I feel like to cap twice in a minute, FaZe must have just been on the death screen the entire time.
Capture the flag.
I'm assuming Stellar is getting the sniper here. No, Eco's going for sniper. Okay. It's a little bit different. Not what I expected. Okay, Bound's going to be the one with the grapple. Doesn't grab the QT. FaZe was actually able to grab it. Both teams contesting vents off the rip. Stellar taking a sneaky route through bottom middle. And look at Legend, dude. He's flying. Hold on. What is this route from Legend? We got to watch this. Okay, hits the slide, hits that player a little bit. Just making sure he has shields. So Legend actually dies and they still get a cap out of this. No? What the hell is Bound doing? Just being a nuisance in the vent. Okay, pretends like he's jumping out, comes right back. Like the nades there. Barely kills Snakebite without trading. Just hunting this player down. So important to follow up on damage that's been started. All right, let's take a look at the flag run from Legends. Actually running at this low snipe side because they were already blocking on this side. Perfect flag run. Stellar immediately in position to grab another. So he gets it to bottom mid. Eco watching on this side. They get 4 dead right here. They know that they're so far out of the base that they must be spawning back base. Perfect grenades. Guess what? Usain Bolt's back alive. Wow, cuts the corner just barely before dying there. Puts it up there so Stellar can punch it in. Back-to-back flag caps. They are looking so insane in Capture the Flag. Like, I don't know. They've been doing this like every tournament, every scrim. I feel like their Capture the Flag stats are going to be unbelievable. I mean, honestly, they're just winning more fights than the other teams. Like, individually, they're just winning a majority of their fights. And, like, it's almost impossible to beat that if you're just incapable of winning your 1v1 fights. Oh my god. Let's look at this grab by Frosty. Get some help to kill Bound. Hits the grapple slide tech. It's a nice attempt. Gets it pretty far, but they've got to slay out if they're going to actually get it home. All these guys are just so slippery with their movement, man. Always advancing on the map. Barely get that return. Now gets taken down. As does Stellar. Legend last player alive here. Keep doing a kill 2 and pin the other 2 while running. Yeah, it's just constant pressure. So FaZe was able to get another flag out, but Legend returns it before getting his face ripped off. Got a few kills, so they're pressing forward. This player's getting a lot of snipes, Frosty, but like they're all on his side of the map. So they're not really able to convert it. Like this is all just defense to try to stop the push. But like SSG just keep pushing off of every single spawn anyways, so he's never able to like move up with the sniper to maybe convert these snipes into flag caps. Huge live by Legend here. So it loses to 1. So FaZe start putting up a better fight here for a while. Spoiler alert, after 10 minutes, SSG do get the last cap. Look at this positioning. They're just kind of now finally in a defensive stance. They've been on the offense pretty much the whole game, but now suddenly FaZe do have the upper hand when it comes to map positioning. But how do they play it? They're actually just watching each other from this side. Look at the patience. Legend gets a trade. I love to see the switch here to go from offense to defense. Live Fire Ball from Eco's POV was a masterclass also, if you care to watch. All right, since Bound said it himself, we'll go ahead and take a look at it. So, I mean, the rest of that game, we saw the double cap, which is really sick. But the rest of that game, it looked like it was probably just back and forth for a while until finally the game ends when they get the third cap. So nothing too crazy there. We'll take a look at Live Fire Ball. Oh, this looks like one of the fastest oddball games. It's only 11 minutes. Legend went 30 and 15 with almost 9,000 damage. Holy shit. In 2 rounds? That means he was pacing for 13,500 if it went to a third round. But Eco, I guess, big brains with the oddball this whole time. Yeah, 171 points. Yeah, 171. So that's like 2.5 minutes, almost 3 minutes of ball time. Expecting to see a lot of baiting FaZe into pushes and Legend just like maybe flanking around their push and just cleaning up. And Eco just rotating away from the pressure perfectly the whole time is what I'm kind of expecting to see. Okay, opening, this is pretty common for SSG. They like to make sure they have green control off the rip. Legend is so fast to get back green. This makes it really hard for FaZe to like occupy sandbags at all when Legend's back there. Okay. Bound comes to the rescue here. This is kind of an awkward position for any team to be here where it's like you have 2 dead and you're already at camo, but it's not up for like 5 seconds. Like it's kind of hard to decide what to do. I like this decision. They decide to just fight in one direction together. If they could take this player out, they could then potentially turn around and then fight the other players on the other side afterwards. That's exactly what they do. Take a lot of damage. I mean, the fight's still on, and then that bought time for Stellar and Legend to come off spawn, and now they're just flying from green to sandbags. Camo's still up. Wow, Legend gets the angle on that. Oh my god, perfect shot there. What's up, Alex?
Enemy has the ball. Ball drop. Double kill. We have the ball.
On maps like this, like the 3-lane maps, what makes SSG so good is like they are always, as long as 3 of them are alive, they're occupying so much space on the map. Like there's just simply nowhere you can go. Beautiful shots there. 5 shots Renegade. All right, let's take a look at Eco here for a bit. So how do they rotate in this situation? They have 3 dead. They know there's 1 player lurking somewhere. They find him quick. Legend actually spawns training, which is pretty big for them. And then now that this last player spawns in A, they know for sure that the FaZe is spawning at like tower or dummies. They might think that dummies is a potential spawn right now. But Eco's just going to rotate over here. Keeping an eye on what's going on. Stellar gets a kill top mid. So actually gets 2. And yeah, Eco's just going to get poised to maybe play this. He's actually not ready to play it. He actually rotates it. in a spot where I think a lot of teams would just default to playing the ball here. But he waits to see where his teammates are spawning. They spawn in A, so he rotates it toward the spawners. And just trust, he knows how powerful his teammates are when it comes to slaying. And FaZe actually steal the ball. But I mean, the pressure is just too great. They're going to push in. Oh, Bound finally missed a slide for once in his life. Yo, thank you for the resub, Rhythm. Appreciate that. 10 months. Doing a little bit of VOD review of SSG. I know you're an SSG fan. All right, let's see what Legend does with this QT. Beautiful nades. Very smart to QT early right there. Well, I mean, that was basically perfectly on time, but I feel like a lot of players wait too long to QT in a spot like that. But he just quickly hits it before he gets taken out. Because there is a little bit of a wind-up time with the QT, right? It's like maybe a half a second, maybe a little bit less than half a second to actually teleport after you push the button. So you do kind of have to time it a little bit early. Legend doing so basically perfectly. And the whole team is pushing in. Stellar and Bound swing out wide right. Legend and Eco pushing through top, middle, and left.
Remain calm.
And they just control so much space around the camo that it increases their odds of securing the camo significantly. And yeah, Frosty can't do anything about that. All right, so they get the camo and the ball. Several dead. Royal 2 spawns way over here. Let's take a look at where Eco goes with this. Rotates it to tower.
S7 sniper inbound.
Clean little jump here. Same concept here with snipe coming up. They control the space on both sides of the sniper and aggressively fight on both sides. Because if they can get some kills, they can just turn around and grab the sniper. Yeah, Bound just going to hold off the sandbag side so Legend can walk away with camo snipe. Let's actually back this up because, oh, this is ends up being a triple kill. So Perfect's Renegade picks up the sniper, sees this player, jump up, does the sneaky jump, make it a triple. Wants the over. Oh, that would have been gross. I know he was ready for the quick scope if that guy was there. What's up, Timmy? Legend just being a nuisance. Oh my god. Killing Frenzy for Legend. This is against FaZe, by the way. Man is unlocked. They never miss naded, bro. Like, it's unbelievable. What's going on, Brett? Now he's just like being annoying. Like, dude, the longer he stays alive here, FaZe has to respond to his existence before they can even kill Eco. So Eco is just using himself as bait. But they're so focused on trying to kill Legend that Eco's just racking up time as well. Like, Legend's they're just baiting and switching constantly through these engagements. Eco just looking through this spot, just watching people die around him. Yeah, dude, they were so focused on Legend that like they just can't even kill Eco. It's insane. All right, so that was round one. The second round's a bit longer. Let's see what we're doing on this side. Bound hits a quick slide out to contest this nest side. I don't think saw the second guy. Didn't really have any options there anyways. So FaZe win the fight on this side. Does Eco get the death from or kill from the grave? No. Legend last player alive.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
Tries to slow them down a bit here.
Ball dropped.
FaZe starts spawning at the green side. That's why they rotate at pillars. Bound quickly off spawn, trying to take some space over here.
Active camo available.
Okay. Oh, Bound wanted to grab the ball and throw it. How do you stay alive here, though? What does this look like in third person? There's so much momentum from the slide. I'm shocked that he didn't just yeet off the map. His intention was definitely to grab the ball and play ball it. So this player's QT was invaluable. But he also like has to kind of fight him at the same time. Shoots him once. Does the late jump all the way off the map and still gets the trade. Oh my god. That's got to be tilting for Renegade because it looks like there's no reason Bound should get that trade there. Looks like they still win the fight and have a chance to get some oddball time here. Legend spawns dummies. Eco's just kind of chilling here for now. Wanted to rotate towards Legend to help him with the fight on that side, but he gets sniped. Legend does not get a trade. So SSG, like, I'm really curious to see how they play this situation because, like, the odds are heavily stacked against them in this play. Bound's the first player spawning. Eco just got sniped. They've got the ball at B. Bound really can't afford to move that fast. At least that's the way I think about the game. But when I watch these guys, I'm learning stuff all the time that, like, you sometimes can have faster timings to hit stuff out. So Bound and Stellar, despite having 2 dead teammates against a 4 stack, just hard push out this side. Just using good teamwork. And they get back green so fast that the other 2 members of FaZe are actually unable to be a part of the fight. They force 2 kills and play the ball. It barely went over the ledge there. That was insane. I'm actually kind of surprised that it rolled over that. Usually that little railing there stops the ball pretty frequently. But I mean, that was a huge play that I feel like a lot of teams miss. Like, they just have the confidence to win the fight by just hard pushing out one side. And they get there fast enough to take the other 2 members of the team, like the other 2 members that are still alive on FaZe, out of the play entirely. Now they take the ball, and then Eco does the key door jump. This is an interesting time. Okay, so he does that, and he sees the player sandbag, so it doesn't go that way. Tries to rotate away.
Enemy has the ball.
Okay, once again, it's 3 dead for SSG. Bound for spawner. Stellar, last guy alive. And he has a sniper. He's got 2 bullets to work with, which isn't much, but he can still, like, heavily swing the map in his favor. He can just hit a couple shots here. Wow. There's so few players that can do, like, is he the only player that turn, like, how often that he gets a double kill in this spot? He misses the first shot, and the repulse kind of does nothing here. A nade from his teammate does get Renegade a little bit weak, but at the same time, like, I think he had to hit the body shot with the bandit and beat him down to get the trade for the double right here. But I mean, that just opens everything for the rest of SSG. They can just fly in. We're all here. Eco takes a route to grab the ball. Legend covers space in front of him. Bound goes top tower to get eyes on the other lanes. Bound checks green side, identifies the spawns, gets one of them weak, just pins that guy back there because now that guy's basically out of the fight for the next 6 seconds while he waits for his shields or has to reroute entirely. Bound, a man of culture, has the Halo 1 assault rifle. I can respect that. And Eco, look at this. A lot of people would have the ball like tower with their other player, but they've got a strong enough setup, and they know that the other team is at the B side. He gets taken down. I would kind of argue that maybe he could have stayed alive longer here if he maybe just dropped the ball and fought. But it doesn't matter. They have such good map presence. They'll probably just win this fight and get the ball right back. Dude, Bound has been alive for far too long here. It's been one shot for like 10 years. He has his shields back here. Watching what's happening to Eco. Was ready to cover his back if he needed to. Help Stellar get that trade. He's just flying around while Legend gets kills underneath him. These guys are so good at like just always having each other's back. And it's usually with like very tiny windows of opportunity where it's like I appear for literally 0.75 seconds and I'm here long enough to shoot somebody twice for you. And then I'm also fighting somebody else at the same time. And it's like, it's just so fucking hard to play against. Like you're never in a 1v1, it doesn't feel like. And even if you are, all these guys are so good that you often lose to 1v1 even when you get into one.
We have the ball.
What does Eco do here? So the Eco had died and just goes straight for ball. Okay.
Active camo available.
Why would he do anything else? They're playing oddball. That is the objective, to hold the oddball. And he's got 3 of the best slayers who have ever lived surrounding him. So
Deployed.
it's got to be pretty easy to just decide to grab the ball if you're Eco.
Lead allergy confirmed.
Okay.
Skull thing. Update. Med 7 sniper inbound.
Ultimately dies here. But they got some more time on the clock. They get Stellar last alive here? Yeah. Okay, we gotta see Stellar's triple kill. He's camo. He's one shot.
We have the ball. S7 sniper inbound. Ball dropped.
This would have been an overkill if the first kill didn't time out. It was pretty close.
Triple kill.
S7 sniper available. You've outdone yourself.
He's just controlling space over here. Trying to predict the route that player on FaZe took. Is this Renegade? This player went very fast. Actually, Snakebite. Okay, he just completely disengaged. It's actually a really good play by Snakebite. Who's got the sniper now? Legend? Oh my god.
S7 sniper.
Like, I know Legend respects his opponents, but the way he plays just looks disrespectful sometimes, I swear.
No scope.
Okay.
Objective.
Saw a couple of the kills in the kill feed, decided to just go grab the ball. Really good stuff. Okay, gives it to Bound because he's got the sniper. Oh my god. Just
Successfully delivered.
kind of outplays Renegade right there.
Extreme distance.
Bruh. Just deleting people off the map. No, you're right, Brett. I've played against him. There was a period of time that I was matching him a lot in matchmaking. It's actually like before, leading up to Worlds. I was playing against Legend a lot, and oh my god, he almost turned that into 2 right there.
Enemy has the ball.
And it was so hard to even kill him one time. Like, if I ever killed him, it was like, I felt like I won the game. But it was after he killed me like 7 or 8 times in a row. And then like I get 1 kill on him and I'm like, yes, he does bleed. But yeah, he just did so much damage to FaZe here that like
Ball dropped.
when SSG come off spawn, they can just move faster because there's 1 trade on the map.
We have the ball.
Okay, look at this bottom middle route. I like this. So Frosty actually misses the key door jump.
Ball dropped.
Bound repulses him before he can get the melee. The oddball melee is pretty broken if you don't know, guys. You can double melee very fast with it. So that's what Frosty was going for. Bound repulses him, stop him from having the option. And look at Legend, just always taking a perfect route into the situation. So he actually takes a lot of damage from Big Door. I think he decides to go back. No, he just goes straight. He just cuts straight through the middle after they started focusing on Eco. He dies, but throws a perfect grenade before dying.
Ball dropped.
No, I really do think that he could be the best player in the game. I mean, SSG said that he was the only player in the world that they would be willing to make a team change for when they dropped Dead Zone. Dead Zone is already one of the best players in the game as well. But like they saw
Enemy has the ball.
They played against Legend enough to know that this guy is unbelievable. He's also what, like 18, 19 years old?
Please remain calm.
His movement's perfect, his shot is perfect, his routing is perfect, his flag runs, his objective play. I can't think of a single like weakness that he has. New blood starting to take over, facts. But I mean, you could like Bound is another new guy, right? Like new relatively to everybody else in this lobby, at least. He's probably been playing about the same time that Legend has. I guess a little bit longer though. Eco's been around forever though. I used to play against Eco in Halo 2, guys. I'm pretty sure his tag used to be unlegit. I think somebody should correct me if I'm wrong, because I've said that before and I'd like to know if that was him. If he was unlegit, like I remember playing against him in Halo 2. Like this guy's been around forever and he's still one of the best. He was unlegit? Okay. Yeah, I was playing against this guy on fucking Ivory Tower 1 flag CTF in Team Skirmish. Now he's like 31, I think. I think Eco's like 31 years old. He was still unlegit in Halo 5. Oh, I didn't realize that. But yeah, we were playing against him in the Halo 2 days, Brett. Stellar, I think, probably came on like Halo. I mean, I asked him in his stream like what Halo he started with, and I think he said either Halo 1 or 2. So he's been playing his whole life, but I think got into competitive later. I forget when he said he got into competitive. He's 30. Okay. Yeah, Eco, he looks young as fuck, bro. I need to figure out his daily routine. Takes care of himself because he's still got a baby face. Well, you played with Too Legit all the time, Nated, so I don't know if he made his tag unlegit because he, like, if it was related to Too Legit in some way. I'm not sure.
The enemy is weak to bullets.
All this time we've been yapping, they've just been continually putting FaZe in the blender. Gonna do a Storm Ventures VOD anytime soon, imagine. Well, the team that Nated was on was Storm Ventures. Yeah, it was Nated, Ramby, Poon, and Legit.
Confirmed. The enemy is weak to bullets.
Bound is season opening to grab the ball, takes it to A. Eco misses the key door jump for the first time that I've ever seen him miss it, but he didn't need to hit it anyways. He might have just been doing that for intel, I'm not sure, but man, SSG making FaZe look silly, honestly. 12-0 in the scrim. I know it's just scrims, but like that's just rare. I mean, recall back to before Worlds when FaZe, I think, won like 93 out of 100 games in scrims. Like, I don't know if they've ever been shut out in a scrim until yesterday, which is unbelievable. Very impressive stuff. I can't wait to see these guys continue to play and just keep elevating the game. Like I said, their CTF performance has been completely dominant. They've been winning CTF games like 3-0 at a very high frequency and just and like the shortest. They're like speed running. I think they have the speed run world record for like every flag game type right now. Aqua is maybe their slowest one, interestingly enough, but like on Pit, Argyle, and Forbidden, like I've seen them win games in they won an Argyle game in 1.5 minutes in the tournament against another pro team, against Bittersweet, which is just crazy. I was casting that one and that was fun to watch. Optic have shut them out at least once. That's a good point. Yeah, Optic are also looking very good right now. Honestly, Optic and SSG are looking not too far apart from each other. Optic are looking very strong right now. But anyways, this is a little bit longer video. I'll probably have to edit this down a little bit for YouTube. So let me just record a little outro here, I guess. All right, so thanks for watching the VOD review of SSG versus